Well, welcome back, everybody. We're out here working on, like I got a mouse in my pocket. I'm out here working on the truck, but you guys are coming along with me, so I would just go with we. We're out here working on the truck. Couple of things I want to throw at you before I get started on this video and what I'm doing. A couple of things I've done since the last time I did a video. If you've been watching and keeping up, I put the window motor in on that side. And it works fine, but I have to do it from this side because I figured out that switch over there is bad. So I got to get a new switch. I also, let me put some light on here. I don't have the best light out here in my shop. I also, I had to take that panel off to put the motor in. And I went ahead and I painted that panel with the correct color paint. Correct color paint. And it looks really good. It looks really good. I found a couple of things there that wasn't just so. There's a screw that goes in right there at the handle. It was not in properly, so that made that handle not sit just right. So just a couple little things I found while I was doing it. I kind of patched that up. I'm trying to think. Oh, the other thing I did, and this is really not what I did. It's just I've decided. I've been trying to think of a name for the truck, and I've just decided that the gentleman that owned the truck for most of its life, almost his whole life, his name was Percy, and I kind of like that. So I've decided in his honor, we're going to call the truck Percy. So I'm out here working on Percy today. You guys coming along with me. Let me show you what I got. Let's see. Let me show you the pieces I got. Of course, LMC truck. We get everything from LMC truck. I am working on the felts and rubbers around the window. And I wasn't going to do a video on this today. I was just going to kind of do it and then tell you guys about it on the next video. But I run into a problem. I watch videos like most of us do. Somebody's already done this before, and so the main rubber that goes down there and it comes up and around to about right here. I watch videos and they just basically pull one end of it out up here by the little vent window and then pulled it out, and might have a little issue around the snaps where the snaps go in. Well, Percy's gonna be a little harder on me than that. That's how mine's coming out right there. Just little brittle pieces. Now this is supposed to be rubber, but it's hard and brittle like a dried up plastic, so it's breaking off and coming off in pieces, which means, let me show you. So I've got all of it out here, from this point right here all the way back to there, but starting to go down, you can see it starting right there, and it goes down for the window to ride in. It should just pull out, but it's so brittle. As soon as I touch it, it breaks in just little bitty pieces. So now, in order to get that on out of there, which I have to do, I'm going to have to pull the door panel, raise the window up and get it out little piece by piece by piece. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and we'll paint this door panel up. I also took on that panel over there, I took the carpeted piece, a felt piece, whatever you want to call it, inside, and took some soap and water and washed it up, cleaned it up good, and it turned out really good. So I'm going to do this too. Now, over the years, it's lost its shape. I'll probably, I don't know if you can see right there, see it's got a gap there that shouldn't be there. And the other side was the same way. That's just age. That wasn't neglect or anything on anybody's part. It's just with age. So I'm going to clean this one up the same way and try to shape it a little better and put it back on. But we're going to go ahead and make a video on this one. I just want some of you guys to know, I'm sure some of you are out there and you're like me, that you watch a video and things seem to go so easy and just, you grab it here and pull it off, and then you go out to do yours and you run into what I'm running into. This piece is so old. What should be rubber that should pull off is just breaking off in little bitty pieces. And now I got to take things apart to get something out that should have pulled out by watching other videos and stuff. But hey, Here's what it is. Percy just gonna give me a little headache this morning, and that's all right. I'll get with it. So I'll film some of it, but the basic answer is I got to take all this off to be able to get inside there to get the rest of that piece of rubber out of there, and then we can put it back together. And while we got it off, we'll go ahead and paint that panel up and clean the little carpeted looking stuff here, felt, whatever it's called. We're going to clean it up, and then we'll put it back together. So stay with me. I've gotten the first couple of steps of taking this panel off of here, and you know, sometimes I just go and I do things and then I say after, well, I took the door panel. But some of you might be looking for a specific little thing of how to get something done or what have you. So I know some people have issues about this, you know, they wonder how to get those electrical pieces off, you know, for your windows. There's a little retainer clip right there, and it has a slot. I don't know if you can see that right there on the side. Let me get a flashlight. You have a little bit of notched in slot right there that you can get a screwdriver in and push this in, and then that will pull out, and then the other side will come out, you know, pulling this away. So that's the first step. Now I will tell you this piece has to be taken off from the back. So don't start pulling on that, think you're going to get that out now. It comes off later. It's got some retaining clips on the back that you have to undo, and I'll show you that in a little while. There's a 3/8 nut that holds the door handle on. Yeah, you get to see my old split up seat right there. So you need a 3/8 to get that off. There's a Phillips head screw in here. There's one here and one over here. They're kind of into that carpet, but I'll get to those. And then from that point, you just grab a corner or something and start pulling. It's got the regular old retaining clips that you have on most all body panel pieces or interior trim pieces. So that's what you need. Use a screwdriver to get into that slot there, a 3/8 to get your handle off, a Phillips head, Phillips head, Phillips head. And then we'll get that off. So I'm going to get back at it. It's hard to film this stuff while I'm doing it, so I'm trying to kind of stop as I go along and show you a little bit here and there. So Phillips head now, I'm going to get all those off, and then we'll take this off here. All right, it's time to get this panel off. It's got some little keeper clips back there that squeeze when you push them into the hole. I'll show you that once I get it off. Most guys fool these old ones. You already know about those. I got it. But I like to share that little information for people who maybe have never done this before. Now they have some plastic pry bars you can use to put in here and pry with. I found most of the time on these old ones you can find somewhere to get your hand in there, get your fingers in, and as you see, it just starts popping out. And I can already tell some of those clips are missing. There we go, just easy as that. Now this should turn and go through here like that. There we go, easy as that. Now I'm glad I took this off, because you can see here those squares that are cut. Somebody did that to get to the 3 bolts that hold the window motor. The other side was not done that way. I had to do that myself. And you know, those are nasty looking holes. They're not precision, and over on the other side mine were not either. But it doesn't really matter, because this, you know, this covers all of that anyhow. But if you go to replace a window motor, electric window motor, you're going to have to get to those 3 bolts, and it makes it really easy to get that motor out of there if you do that. If you don't do that, it's going to, I don't know any other way to do it, but I guess you could take all the guts and everything out, but that's the easy way. But you are going to have to cut some squares or holes or something to be able to get to those 3 bolts. All right, so let me see if I can get, let me get the camera going so I can see what I'm doing. For those of you that don't know, that's the little clip. You know, this slides onto the plastic piece, and then that right there is what goes into the hole. That closes up and pops it in place. Retainer clips, what they call it, I think. I have found that a couple of these, or several of these, were missing. and the screw going into the door down at the bottom, one on one side was missing, the other one was stripped out. So normally when you start tearing into these things, you'll find little stuff like that that you can repair and make everything better. So we'll get this panel into the other room, and I'll show you how this piece comes off. Like I say, it comes off from the back. You got a retainer on the back you've got to get off, and then this will come off. So if you're planning to replace this, know you're going to have to take the panel off, the whole thing off, to get this piece off. Don't start pulling on that, because that won't work. So we'll take it in there and see what we can do. All right, I got the door panel. It's still complete like I took it off. I'm still holding the little piece, the little clip piece that goes in. I want to show, I got a whole bag of these things on Amazon for, I don't know, $10. It wasn't much. But what I do want to show is how to get the velour piece. I keep trying to say something else, and it's kind of a velour piece. And once we get it off, you'll see it's on cardboard. All right, let me bring you in and show you here. So you have these retainers on the back side, you see right here, and it's got a little piece bent over. You got to straighten all those out. I normally use a tool to do this, but you can, you can use your fingers. They're not made out of much. But we're going to get all of those pieces straightened out. And then I am going to go get a pair of pliers or something to pry with. And we got to pry those pieces off the back. It's 2, 4, 6, 7 of them off the back, and then that piece will come out. So that's why I was saying you've got to take that velour piece off your door panel from the back side of the panel. So I'll finish that up and I'll bring you right back. All right, all the little retainer clips are off. I'll show you kind of what they look like. I went ahead and I bent, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can explain how that works. It's flat with a slot. I bent one side up so it would come on off. You see right there. These are reusable. I'll flatten that back down. When I get ready to put this on, I'll slide them on and then bend those pieces back over. So that's how you get that piece off. If I take this out of the way, you can see it's left sitting there. Now this is cardboard, and you can see how it's warped, just over the years. I don't know of any way to straighten that cardboard back out, honestly. Maybe you can get it wet and then put it on a flat surface with something, maybe try to get it to reshape itself. I don't know. I'm not going to try to do that. I'm going to take this with some soap and water, and I'm going to clean that up real good and put it back on. At some point, I may order new ones. You can get new ones. The old standby LMC trucks, I believe they have them. And at some point, I might do that, but not right now. So while I got it taken apart, and there again, I'm taking it apart because I'm working on the seals around the window, and my seals were so old and brittle, they're just breaking all apart instead of pulling out like everybody else's. Some of you guys, you know what I'm talking about. You watch the videos and it looks so easy, and then you get out there and yours don't do that way. So, if you're one of those, everything goes wrong. I'm not going to say wrong, but, doesn't go as easy as it should. Hey, follow my channel. We'll be buddies. Anyhow, while I got this off, I'm going to clean all this up good. The back of it's pretty dirty. That's years of dirt going up in there. You can see I have 1, 2, 3. There was 1 or 2 on the top. They must have fell out. Whole bunch of these retainers are missing. And that's why I have a whole bag of them that I picked up off of Amazon. They're cheap, so it's exactly why I have those. So the next step is, well, 2 or 3 steps. I'm going to clean this up. We're going to paint it. I've got the paint to paint it with. And I'm also going to continue working on the seals. Probably do the seals right now and then come back and get on this. So I'm going to go out there and start working on those again. All right, step one is complete. You can see right here, I've got the new rubber and felt in that goes down and goes down through, down past the window, all the way down to the bottom, down there. Now, most videos show that just sliding in there, which it does slide in there, but it wasn't easy. I took some lubricant, kind of lubed it up with some, like some foamy glass cleaner. I like to use that a lot when I need to get something slick. And honestly, I've got about a 2-foot screwdriver that I use to put down in there and help push and slide. And I also use that screwdriver to get all the brittle pieces out of there to begin with. I know everybody does not have a 2-foot screwdriver, but I'm just being transparent. That's what I use. I bought a flathead and a Phillips head from Harbor Freight several months ago, maybe even a year ago, for a project I had that had a screw way up in a slot that I had to get to. And that's the only reason I had these. But that 2-foot long flathead came in handy sliding down through here to kind of push that felt on down in there to get that part done. So that's done. It looks good. The window's a little bit weak. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this up before I put a motor in, or maybe go ahead and order a motor, put a new motor in while I got it apart. I don't know, but yeah, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna get the 2 pieces put in right here. They should just kind of clip into place, we'll see. And then we're gonna start working on that door panel. And we'll have it done probably tomorrow. It's getting late. It was actually late in the afternoon before I came out here and got started today. So I'm going to try to get these 2 final pieces on right here, the inside and outside piece right there. And I'll call it an evening and come back tomorrow and we'll start on that panel. So hang with me. Well, good morning. It's the next day. Boom. Happened just like that, didn't it? So this is what we got. We got the new seals on the window. Looks good. Got inside, we got it all up through around here. We got the top. Everything looks good. But one thing I do have is the window was a little bit slow. The motor, I guess, is a little weak. But now that I've got the new stuff in, it's really slowed down. Let me show you what we got. All right, let's see here. Goes down pretty good, but coming up, you can see how slow it is. Very slow. And it has to have some help. So that means we need a new motor. And that's fine while I got it apart. And the fact that the holes are already cut for those screws or nuts, bolts for the new motor. That'll make that easy. So I went ahead and got that ordered this morning. It'll be here in a few days. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and work on the panel. It's got a lot of dirt and stuff. You can see just age and years and all that. So I'm going to get it outside. We're going to wash this real good, both sides. And we're going to get it painted up with the color paint it's supposed to be. We're going to take and wash that, get that as clean as we can. Put this back together and have it ready to go back on the truck. So that's today's task. So let's get started. First things first, let's go outside and wash this thing down. Got a bit of a foggy morning out here this morning. Anyhow, first things first, I think I'm gonna dampen this. I just got some regular dishwashing liquid. I'm gonna put a little bit on there. Got a little scrub brush here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that scrubbed in with some liquid and rinsed off. Like I say, it's cardboard, so I don't want to get it real wet. I'm gonna try not to. Clean it as best we can and go ahead and get it set to the side so it can be drying. So let's start on that first. dried out, taped up, ready for some paint. Now this is the LVP. It's got like a dye in it. It's not just paint, it's like a dye. It'll dye it back to the color it should be. Might play you a little music while I speed this up. Turned out pretty good. Y'all can see that there. Ta-da! Let me bring you over here and show you a little bit. So you can see the paint does really good. I went ahead and got the tape off of it. Now I'm just going to lay this piece on here so you can see kind of what it's going to look like. It's still a little bit damp, but it's almost dry. I'm probably going to go ahead and put the little pieces on the back to get it back on there like it should be, and then it can finish drying out here. So I had intended to, you know, completely finish this project, but I can't do that now because I've ordered the new motor to go into the window, and I want to go ahead and finish this video up. So I'm probably going to end it right here. You guys saw how it come off. It's going to go back on the same way. The window motor, you got 3 bolts in there. The holes are already cut to get to those 3 bolts. It goes on these. There's a lot of videos out there how to do that. So I'm probably not going to film that. Once I get that window motor in, slap this panel back on, and that door will be done. So thank y'all for watching, and I hope this video helped. If you have questions about anything, if I didn't cover something thoroughly and you have a question, you know, feel free to hit me down in the comments, and I'll answer as best I can. But that's where we're at. This is a fun project, and the truck's looking better all the time. Percy's looking better all the time. So thank y'all for watching, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and you know, we'll see you next time.